Hi there, this is Gary Ryan Blair, and in this message, we're going to talk about fearlessness. Specifically, how do you develop it? Well, it's a real simple question and answer exercise. You boldly go where others won't. You consistently lean into the things that you're afraid of doing, and you prove to yourself that your dreams are bigger and far more important than any fear. What is it that compels us? It compels each one of us to be fearful, to think and act like part of the herd, to live an entire lifetime with very little to show for it. Well, for the majority of us, it's really the desire for safety, for refuge and security. In short, it's the inclination to play it safe and to remain in the comfort zone. But the life you want, the truly magical life you want to experience, will only happen once you face your fears and actively work to get outside your comfort zone. It always has been this way, and it always will be this way. See, fear is unworthy of your companionship. It's an unwanted visitor who's overstayed his welcome. And your ultimate goal is to face it, to conquer it, and to use it as the trigger for unleashing your greatness. And the human being who does not wish to belong to the masses, who dares to show the world what he or she is capable of creating, must cease being controlled and manipulated by fear. They must resist the gravitational pull of the comfort zone and instead follow their conscience, which shouts out at them, "Let your light shine through." Fear is never a reason for quitting nor for second-guessing yourself. It's only a cowardly excuse for those unwilling to face their doubts, their insecurities, and their mental boogeyman. Therefore, your first duty in rising to meet a challenge is to conquer fear and the mental resistance that brings along with it. You must choose to get rid of it, or any hope, dream, or goal that you're considering will wind up dead on arrival. So what is fear costing you? What are the consequences of keeping your dreams on hold? What is the impact of your life when you run from rather than towards a challenge? Well, let's look at a few of the many consequences associated with quitting, with being underemployed, with remaining fearful, and not rising to meet the demands of a challenge. The first is a diminished sense of self-worth and personal value. Eventually, you come to think of yourself as the kind of person who is undeserving of success. And when you begin to lose faith in yourself, it leads to a downward spiral of psychological devastation that's extremely difficult to overcome. The second is perpetuation of pain. Avoiding a challenge and running from your fears only achieves self-sabotage and a perpetuation of pain, which leads to a cycle of failure and a lifetime of disappointment. Failure's high price is commonly imposed through bankruptcy, depression, unemployment, poor grades, stress, and other forms of physical and psychological pain. The third consequence is character assassination. By allowing fear to control your life, you'll serve as a disturbing example of wasted talent, of someone who chose fear over courage. Your life will be viewed as a sad consequence of neglect, of excuse-making, self-pity, poor character, lack of direction, and courage deficit. The fourth reason is development of a quitter reputation. See, quitting is a habit. It's the path of least resistance. Facing your fears requires that you increase your level of resistance and tolerance to pain, to inconvenience, and to sacrifice. And once you develop a quitter reputation, your options will become limited. Your reputation will become questionable, and your future will be in serious jeopardy. And finally, number 5, you become a traitor. By refusing to face your fears, you by default choose to betray, to openly resist, and to rebel against opportunity and the chance for a better life. In effect, you become your own worst enemy, a real-life Benedict Arnold, your very own Judas Iscariot, as the greatest form of betrayal is betrayal of oneself. Fear of any type is a temperamental beast. It's built for a fight. It works to mentally wear you down. It will not be vanquished quickly nor easily. That's why if you're ever going to find your greatness, you've got to expose yourself ruthlessly to the cold hand of death and feel the fear and the anxiety that's associated with that without trying to run away from it. Doing so will exhaust you, but it will grow you. And once you've confronted your mental boogeyman, you'll come to the understanding that everything you want to be, have, and do in life will only be found on the other side of fear. And that's a pretty darn good thing. And that is one of the many reasons why you're going to want to check out the 100-Day Challenge at 100daychallenge.com. Make it the very next thing you do.